What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got another episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly to provide for you guys, where we discuss the previous week for the Chicago Bulls and the upcoming week for the Chicago Bulls. And at the end of the day, we are getting very close towards the end of the season. We've got March and April left. There's still, it's getting closer. There's about, 20-ish odd games left for the Chicago Bulls. And in all honesty, where we are right now is probably not where we want to be. But can we truly escape where I guess we are right now? Can we actually climb the table? Can we get to the 8th seed? Can we get to the 7th seed? Can we really have a good say of things in those games and in those moments? Or are we going to stay where we are? We're going to have to discuss these things sooner or later. I'm going to discuss why neutral is not good enough anymore for the Chicago Bulls. We will discuss all of that and more in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their upcoming week, and where do you see the Bulls finishing at the end of the season. Now, we had 4 games to look forward to, and we ended up splitting the week, 2 wins and 2 losses. So a neutral record in 4 games, that's not bad at all, in all honesty. But I hate to say this, and this might not be what you guys want to hear, but neutral's not good enough anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be splitting games with these guys anymore. If you actually want to see the Bulls make any significant progression to the 8th and 7th seed in the Eastern Conference, which will be difficult, you have to start overtaking teams. You have to start winning more than you are losing. And right now, the neutral's not good enough. It might have been good enough at the beginning of the season and the middle of the season, but where we are right now, that's not going to cut it anymore. You want to know why? Well, let's directly look at the records for the Chicago Bulls and for other teams, ladies and gentlemen. So, the Bulls right now are 28 and 32. We are, I think that's 4 games below 500, which is not good enough in general, but that keeps us in the 9th seed. Atlanta, we are 2 wins above them, and from then on, we are 5 wins, above the Brooklyn Nets, and yada, 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 the 11th, the 12th, and all those seeds below us, who are probably not going to make the play-in tournament, judging by, maybe Brooklyn could get over Atlanta, considering the fact that Trae Young is out, but from my understanding, those teams are not going to make the play-in tournament. Either way, we have aspirations to move up in the table, right? You want to get to the 8th and 7th seed, right? There are people in my comments that still believe we could get to the 7th and 8th seed, right? The Indiana Pacers are the 8th seed. And they are plus 500, ladies and gentlemen. They are 34 and 27. They have 34 wins and 27 losses. So the Bulls are 6 games? I believe it's 6 games away from the 8th seed. Do you understand how difficult that is to get there? With 20 odd games left, maybe a little bit more than that, just a tad bit more than that, to get 6 games over the Indiana Pacers, it's almost, the way that I view it, it's impossible, but it's almost impossible, ladies and gentlemen. Mathematically, it's still possible, but it's not going to get done, in my opinion. And that's why neutral's not good enough. And then you look at the 7th seed Miami Heat, they have 33 wins and 26 losses. And again, pretty much from the 5th seed all the way down to the 8th seed is very close, fine margins. And we're just not that team, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to get there. I'll tell you that right now, we're not going to get there. But if you have aspirations to get there, going 2-2 in a week, we have the Detroit Pistons in there, is not going to cut it. So again, upsetting, but I feel like there needs to be a dose of reality in there, and that's what I'm here to provide today. For those people that think we're going to get to the 7th and the 8th seed, I hope we do. By all means, I hope that we do. But splitting neutral, going 2-2 in a week, will just not cut it. We have to go above 500, not stay where we are. And until we get there, there is no hope for the Chicago Bulls. And let's be honest, there's not going to be much hope anyway. Either way, let's discuss the week. We started off positively against the New Orleans Pelicans. We ended up winning this game 114-106. Again, no Caruso in this game. We built a wall that Zion couldn't, beat every single possession. And from then on, we were able to take advantage. They had a very poor offensive night. And the Pelicans gave us lifelines that the Bulls take advantage of with the amount of turnovers that they committed in that game. We took advantage. We got transition points. We got everybody involved. It was a very good game in total. Then obviously, we versed the Detroit Pistons, and again, we lost this game 105-95. One of the worst games of the Bulls season by far. 2 from 29 from the three-point line. Really, really poor displays. Couldn't really guard anyone either. The Pistons took advantage. They kind of ran away with it in the end, and it left with Bulls misery. I mean, we've lost to Detroit twice this season, ladies and gentlemen. The first one at the beginning of the season, this one towards the end of the season. It's not a pleasant sight. And we actually tie the season series against Detroit, which is a series we should be winning if we want to say we are a competitive team. So very disappointing from that point of view. Then we turn over and show why the Chicago Bulls are so inconsistent, because they pick up a big double overtime win against one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who at the time was the second seed and are still the second seed in the Eastern Conference. They have 39 wins on their season, and we did find a way to beat them. We ended the 7-game winning streak they had on us. We ended the overtime streak that they had, the second most overtime wins, I believe, in NBA history. It was tied. We ended up breaking that. So a lot of excitement there from the Bulls. We showed that we can be streak breakers once again, but we also show our inconsistency. Speaking of inconsistency, the Milwaukee Bucks game, where Milwaukee swarmed us defensively, got a lot of foul calls, yes. The Bulls lost their heads, became extremely frustrated, and we lost this game 113-97. Borderline not good enough. It's as simple as that. Hard fouls, unnecessary fouls, some unacceptable fouls, some soft fouls in there as well, technical fouls. It was just a game full of free throws, and it was just a complete misery to watch, and I'm assuming, again, with the loss, a complete misery to partake in also. So, bit of a disaster game, but we ended up splitting 2-2. Again, the middle of the season might not be such a bad result. Where we are right now, not good enough for the Chicago Bulls. We need to start picking up our performances, not staying the same. So with that being said, we've got awards to give. I'm going to have to be quick in this one because we are slowly running out of time. My must improve is Coby White. Again, I'm not going to be the type of guy that goes at Coby White for anything. I know he's been struggling. I know there's a lot of pressure on him. I know teams are guarding him differently than how he was guarded originally. I get all of that. I just hope that Coby White can build himself out of it. But it would be very biased of me to not look at Coby White's performance and pick him as the must improved. Again, if you even ask Coby White, I'm 99% sure he would pick himself if he had the option to. So I'm not really going to say any more than that. Coby White is my must improve. We should move on from that. My sixth man of the week is going to be Andre Drummond. Onrulupa Tim should get a shout out for this one, considering this is his first true week for the Chicago Bulls. He made some good impressions in the game against the Cavs. He made an okay impression against the Bucks as well, and he needs to keep playing. But Drummond, again, in some games started, in other games came off the bench. But whatever position, role he was in, he made an impact. He made the biggest impact for the Chicago Bulls, and that should not be ignored. My defensive player of the week is Alex Caruso. He guarded Zion this week. He guarded Cade Cunningham this week. He went on and guarded guys like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and then he had to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sure, it wasn't necessarily an amazing defensive week. I mean, Giannis shot 46 points. Not all of them was on Caruso, but a fair chunk of them were. But again, when you have to ask guys to go guard Zion, then go guard Cade Cunningham, two completely different players with different skill sets, but Caruso's doing his absolute best on the defensive end, and that's all I can really ask for. Then the player of the week for me will go to Nikola Vucevic, a pretty simple one here. He was outstanding this week, one of his best weeks of a Bulls uniform, in my opinion, over the years he's been here. So that should be very much respected as well, and hopefully he can keep it up. Now let's look at what we have to come. The first game is away from home as we go out west for our West Coast trip against the Sacramento Kings. A very difficult game here. Let's hope we can get over the line. A very good offensive team that we're going to be facing very soon. Then after that, we got the Utah Jazz. Again, Jazz are a bit up and down the way that I see it, but they've got a very tall, lengthy team, so that could cause us a bit of problems. Then we got the Golden State Warriors. Golden State are playing better with Draymond Green on their team, but they cooked us while they were over in Chicago. Again, they had one of the best second half performances I've seen all season, and they destroyed the Bulls in that half, and they ended up winning that first game. Then we got another game against the LA Clippers, a team that I truly think can compete for a championship this season if all stay healthy. They've got talent everywhere. They've got depth everywhere. They look like a really fun team to watch. I'm excited to see them play. But hopefully we can win the game against them. They've got elite forwards as well, so that won't be an easy game for the Bulls as well. So that's my Bulls Weekly episode. We're going to be versing a lot of West Coast games. We have 4 straight games on the road. All of these games are away from home. We don't have a great away record. So this could really determine what we're going to be this season. If we tie it like we did this week, we're basically going to get nowhere. If we end up actually going positive this week, there could be a lifeline for the Bulls to go and attack the 7th and 8th seeds. Maybe. Who knows? Probably not, but there's a chance. We lose all these games while our play-in tournament position is in danger if we lose all of them. So we better be careful, get the wins here. Thank you for watching, drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.